Double teaming destiny.
A one-state solution, like having a single state with equal rights.
Well, no.
Wait, can you flesh out why you think that's like ridiculous?
Why? Because why would any Jewish person want to live in one state where now they're an ethnic minority against a group of people that have been trying to kill them for 80 years, and like who've elected a party who literally like wants to eliminate all of Israel and ship out all the Jews, and who align themselves with other people saying, you know, like death to Israel, death to America, death to the Jews.
Hold on. Why would the terrorist group not capture more civilian hostages if capturing them got it everything it wanted?
You sound more manly when you're allowed. It's fine.
Yeah,
you sound like an authority figure when you're allowed.
More authoritative, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I don't think it's all on, dude. I don't think it's all on Israel. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't think it's all on Israel. I think you have to both sit down at the table. You're saying that like there is this starting point. Here is the starting point of peace, right? And the starting point is Hamas, according to you, deciding to voluntarily dismantle, or maybe not voluntarily, like under coercion, dismantle. I'm saying that like that or won't happen with these people. If you think, especially if you think that they are so unreasonable, Hamas, that they're so crazy, they're so radicalized, that won't happen. But a more viable path is simply returning the hostages and then stopping the bombing, right? So instituting a ceasefire. That is a far more plausible scenario.
What you're advocating for is immoral. I don't know why we would say Israel no longer has a right to conduct military operations against Hamas.
Did I say don't have the right? What I care about is the end of civilian deaths on both sides.
This is literally the Twitter position of like, I just want whatever reduces in the short term civilian deaths. That's not how war has ever been conducted in the history of all of mankind. What do you think leads to long-term peace?
Okay, long term, I think that the one-state solution is the only viable.
No, on a macro level, what do you think leads to long-term peace?
What do you mean? What do you mean by the macro level?
Like in the world.
In the world.
I feel like long-term peace is when you have stable governments, strong economies, and you've got people that are willing to consider international opinion, broadly speaking, with other stable trading countries. I think that these are the things that, broadly speaking, lead to long-term peace. I don't think reduction of civilian casualties at all costs, I don't think that leads to long-term peace. Because reduction of civilian casualties at all costs is literally, fuck, I don't know why my shit keeps changing. It's because of this fucking StreamYard program, that's why. Reduction of civilian casualties at all costs is literally a tit-for-tat game that gets taken advantage of by groups like the Houthis or by groups like Hamas.
Well, it's a good thing neither of us are supporting that. Nobody said that. There's going to be a new Hamas in 10, 15, 20 years. It'll just happen all over again.
The reason why this doesn't work, what were they fighting for 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, or 60 years ago, or 70 years ago? If they've been fighting constantly for 80 years, why are we pretending like the reason for the fighting is because of this thing now?
Why are you pretending these are the same people with the same reasons?
Because it's the same type of conflict that's been going on for essentially 80 years. It hasn't really changed much in nature or character.
Today, there are legitimate grievances from a lot of the Palestinians on the ground against Israel.
Are they legitimate grievances?
Yeah.
Like what? Asking Israel to stop the settlements or whatever is basically asking for a one-sided concession that, like, why would you even expect them to do it?
Wait, but when they have peace in the West Bank, you still have these settlers going in.
These people are going to hate us and want to kill us and fight against us infinitely anyway. Why the fuck would we stop expanding our stuff? But let's say I was born in Israel and I thought that we were cool and I thought that everybody loved each other, and then I grow up and I find out, wow, there's one community of people that has been launching rockets into us for 25 years, even though they keep saying they don't have enough money to, you know, fuel their hospitals or their population. Or like, wow, you know, we're existing in this region where the UN keeps telling us that we're doing wrong thing after wrong thing, even though like the people who are supposedly peaceful to us to the east literally have a martyr fund to support the families of people that commit, you know, fucking jihad against us or whatever the fuck the shit is. Like, oh man, like, you know, there are other countries around this region that are also like supporting, like shooting missiles at us. Like, holy fuck, like all the way over in Yemen, they're shooting missiles at us. Oh my God, Hezbollah is like shooting rockets at us from neighboring countries, right? So now I feel like I should be fighting against these people forever.
Yeah. It's totally reasonable, understandable.
No, I'm not trying to, in this moment, judge the Israelis. I might have my own opinions, but like that doesn't matter. I'm looking for a path to peace. How do I actually get there?
Both sides think that fighting infinitely is going to achieve some end for them. One side is delusional. And the sooner Palestinians realize that they're delusional and continuing conflict with Israel, the sooner maybe they can come to the table and try to make some sort of peaceful agreement. But as long as they want to continue fighting, Israel, like I said in the very beginning, I said that Israel dynamically responds to the situations around them. If the surrounding Arabs want peace, they take peace. If they want to fight, then they fight and they win. That's what Israel does. So if the Palestinians want to continue to fight, Israel will keep fighting and expanding their territory.
It doesn't matter if they're delusional. That doesn't matter. You seem to think that that means anything to anyone, that they're delusional.
As an outsider third party trying to evaluate which side we ought to support, it does matter who's delusional. How do you decide who's in the right in a conflict and who you want to support?
I don't have to.
Wait, then how do you figure out what the steps are to resolve a particular conflict? Leaving Hamas or having a Palestinian group of people that want to kill you and leaving them there are not steps towards justice. Have you said that Israel is justified in destroying Hamas? Have you said that?
Yeah.
Have you said that?
I said.
No, wait, answer this.
Yes,
have you said that? Have you also said that you want a ceasefire?
Yes, I want a ceasefire. The path to peace, the one that actually works out in the long run, is one where Hamas disappears, right?
So then why would you have a ceasefire? How would you do a ceasefire if you want Hamas to disappear?
These negotiations would include Hamas being either demilitarized.
And you think Hamas would agree to a peace talk where the terrorist group Hamas, who wants to destroy all of Israel, is going to demilitarize?
If there is a credible path to peace, yeah, there might be a possibility. Yeah.
Even though all the polling data shows that Palestinians actually want to fight with Israelis, you think it's because of the conditions that they're subject to and the humiliation.
No.
And the fact that there wasn't a reasonable road to peace.
Yes, there's no reasonable road to peace.
The peace they want is them having a one-state solution. Do you think right now that the majority of Palestinians want a one-state solution or a two-state solution? You're so American-brained right now, okay? You keep saying this path to peace because for you in America, the status quo works. So when there's no violence, it's good. That's the path to peace. But the problem is in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine, there is not a path. Nobody cares about peace over there. They want justice. And in the Palestinian eyes, their perception of justice is a one-state solution. You keep saying path to peace because as a Westerner, the only thing that your eyes can ever fucking perceive are civilian casualties. That's the only thing you see. You don't see anything else besides that. If there's a group of people and they want a one-state solution, how do you ever get on a path to peace when their path to perceived peace is directly in conflict with the Israeli path to peace? How do you resolve that? Tell me how do we do the path to peace for Palestinians when that directly conflicts with the path to peace for Israelis? When Israel wants a country and Palestinians don't want them to have a country, how do you reconcile these two positions? Or do you think it will magically change if Israel just eases up on the blockade? They want to fight to the bitter end, then they are allowed to fight to their bitter end. That's their right as Palestinians. If they want to do it, knock themselves out, I guess. But I don't know why we would force Israel to acquiesce to them. Most of the Middle East doesn't even support the Palestinian cause right now.
I don't think there's any reason to believe that the Palestinians, as a group, or in Gaza, would want to fight to the bitter end. Would want to.
They
fight
literally do.
dead.
They literally said that most of the polling data, even from before October 7th, shows that Palestinians believe that they should continue. Yes, they want to fight.
Yeah. Okay,
most of the Palestinians still support the October 7th attacks. It's like 82% of the West Bank. It's 57% of the Gaza Strip.
But as Prem laid out earlier, right? So one of the contributing factors to this could be that they don't believe there's a political path to peace.
We have to stop using the word peace because I don't know if you guys. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Nobody wants peace here. They want a one-state solution. That's what they want. They don't want peace. The Palestinians don't want peace.
Yeah, that's peace. That long term, that's peace.
Yes, and because they don't really want the Jewish people from the Israeli country to live there either, or at the very least they want to control it.
I'm totally fine with them living there. I'm just saying they should live there as equals with the Palestinian Arabs, right, in a single state. And obviously that's a long-term project, and I agree, farther off than any kind of two-state solution. Though, like I said earlier, I do think that seems to me to be the only way to have like a lasting peace long-term.
It is the most like Western idea ever that you want to impose a solution that neither side of these people want. None of them want this. And you're saying this is what they really do want. What is one of the driving factors?
That they're attempting to maintain an ethno-state, an ethnic majority within Israel. think it through, right? So there's an ethno-supremacist ideology.
What ethno-supremacist? Where are all these terms coming from? What? Jews have one country? How many countries do Muslims have? Like 60 plus. What do you mean ethno-supremacist?
Irrelevant.
I don't think that, for instance, like as part of Judaism, I don't think you believe that non-Jewish people are all condemned to hell. In Islam, you actually have separate dhimmi status for people that aren't part of your religion. They live as like separate citizens, arguably, depending on what country you're living in. This is a delusional position. You're telling me that like the religion of Islam, okay, that is like part of its stated goal, tries to convert as many people arguably as possible, that is engaged in terrorist attacks all over the fucking country, that has 60 plus countries and half of them fucking have forms of Sharia law or theocratic regimes. And then you're going to say those people are really upset that there's an ethno-supremacist group who are the Jews, who haven't even recovered from their post-Holocaust numbers, who are pogromed and fucking like murdered all over the fucking world just for being Jewish, okay, who had to flee almost every single Arab country after every single successive Arab-Israeli war, that they're worried about those guys being ethno-supremacists? That's fucking wild. No, because historically, that is the most unbelievable statement I've ever heard in my entire life.
Gaining power, I think, in recent years. One expression of this, and this is very controversial within Israel. So I'm not saying that every Israeli Jew believes this. I'm not saying this. It's controversial in Israel and among Jews in the United States. The nation-state law, which made it explicit that Israel is a nation for Jews, the Jewish culture, the Jewish people, Jewish religion, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it has to be a priority for like their legislation stuff. Sure, that's fine. Okay. You can call that like super controversial, but like has that resulted in like discriminatory laws against like non-ethnic Jews or whatever? Or like what are these huge differences that we're talking about? Because keep in mind, even with that nation-state law, you literally have Islamist parties that are represented in the Knesset. Like you literally have people that advocate for Islamism that are part of their parliament. So I mean, like, what are the ways that these laws are like destroying ethnic minorities or whatever in Israel? I don't know if they're scared so much about having an ethno-religious state, so much as they're scared that the group of people that most want to immigrate to their area seem to also be highly invested in their destruction. What percentage of like the Palestinian hatred for Israel comes from the fact that they have an ethno-state? Why would I not go by what the leaders say, right? Whether we're talking about Nasser in Egypt said he wants to remove all Jews from this land, from Palestine proper, okay, because he didn't think they belong there. Why wouldn't I listen to people like Arafat, who are so invested in the destruction of Israel that they're willing to coup other leaders around them to do it? Why wouldn't I listen to Hamas when they say that they want to get rid of all? Like, I've got all these people that tell me over and over again, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. But you, an American in the West, like, well, actually, I think it's just because they don't like the fact that Jews try to maintain their ethnic demographics there because they're worried they'll be genocided. I understand in America, that feels weird and bad because we're like the multicultural, diverse, blah, 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 blah. But in a lot of other parts of the world, they kind of expect that. It's like, yeah, Japan is really xenophobic. As an American, that sounds horrible to Japanese. They're like, yeah, fuck Westerners, fuck white people, fuck brown people, fuck that shit, right? Or if you go to the Middle East, yeah, they're going to say like, yeah, obviously we have ethnic preferences. Obviously we have preferences for our own religious group. Like, obviously we discriminate against other types of religions. Like, they literally kill people that leave their religion. They kill apostates. Like, how is it so unbelievable that they would expect like, oh, of course I would expect Jewish people to be ethnocentric. That's part of what all of their Jewish conspiracies based on, the idea that Jews all over the world share the same ethnic identity, where they're trying to push for the the funding and the support of the Israeli state. I think they would I don't think any Arab person would be like, we think that Jewish people should not be so ethnic centric. They would say like, we think Jews should get the fuck out of here and go be ethnic centric somewhere else. Is there a single Palestinian or Arab leader that is advocating for like that agrees with any of these statements that either of you have made? That like, oh, we just want like a peaceful, friendly, one-state solution where we all live in harmony. Or we just want like peace with the Israelis so that we can like all exist together in two states. Like, where are these Arab leaders that say stuff like this? Or where's like the evidence in the past of history of Arabs wanting to pursue this? Even the oppression in Gaza started because in 2004 and 2005, Abbas was trying to negotiate peace with Israel, and Hamas and other extremist factions couldn't stop fucking shooting rockets into fucking Israel.
And again, I can understand the Israeli opposition to this. It's totally reasonable for them to think that if they were to have this wave of new Arabs in the country, they'd be fucking genocided. I totally get that.
I don't know where this idea comes from that the majority of Palestinians, or even the majority of Israelis, support a one-state solution with equal one voice, one vote, or one person, one vote.
You have two groups of people here that from their perspectives, have legitimate reasons to hate each other.
You guys believe this, but you won't admit it. You keep thinking that both sides have equal reasons to not like each other. Even if you say the side that's more beneficial to our interest, we're making a choice there. It's not just like random, or we're not saying like both sides ought to resolve their things equally. That when I'm looking at a conflict, I wouldn't just say like, oh, we should just resolve it 50-50 for everybody. When you say both sides need to take steps towards peace, the implication is that both sides are equally responsible for the unpeace. That's the implication.
No.
Can both of you please state who should make a bigger effort towards peace?
I don't two-state.
Does
right?
one
We
side
care
have
about that more
does one
than
side have a stronger
just.
moral
we
authority
can
here?
understand that we can have a
Oh,
peace
Jesus
that
fucking
is
Christ.
unjust.
Hi.
All
Do,
right,
do-
okay.
Does one side? Would you
was
say
that?
one side has a stronger moral authority? Hi. Thank you, babe. I love you.
I love her too, or whoever this person is.
Do we agree with that, or do we disagree with that?
Oh, love them too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to misgender.
Okay, listen. I love you guys. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now you want to leave. Okay. All right. Anyway, Stephen, hold on. Just last thing. Thank you, Stephen, for engaging in this conversation. It was super frustrating, as usual, right?